What is up, everybody? Ethan back today with an album review, and what I've got today is Pat Travers, Putting It Straight. Look at that album cover with the guitar, Pat Travers. There's the back there. So this album was recorded and released in 1977 on the Polydor Label, produced by Dennis McKay and Pat Travers, the guitar player and main songwriter. Now, Pat Travers is a Canadian guitar player, singer, um, that began in the mid 70s. 1976 was his first album. This is his third album, and this is Putting It Straight. Putting It Straight. So, this is just a very good kind of guitar oriented hard rock album, funky album, blues rock. Think Robin Trower and um, maybe Aerosmith and Jeff Beck of the same period. Just a really good album. And Pat Travers is a guy who I had not heard of until recently, maybe in the last couple of years, but didn't grow up hearing him on the radio. This is not a radio friendly um, album or band. You know, I've not. I mean, Pat Travers. I mean, you hear about Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton, Eddie Van Halen, even Jeff Beck I've heard of, but Pat Travers is more of an obscure kind of rock guitar god out of Canada. So when I learned about him and some of the albums, especially in the late 70s kind of period, that was kind of his his heyday. So yeah, he was born in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and on April 12th, 1954. He's 71 currently. And this album, the album in question, is from 77, his third album. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the track listing. What is on this album that deems it worthy to be reviewed? So it kicks off with the song "Life in London." Man, what a great funky hard rock riff! That is just pure ear candy. The guitar tone is thick and fat. I think he plays, Gibson SG. I was trying to find out what kind of guitar he played. Um, I believe he played a Gibson Melody Maker 1964-65 model double cutaway, double humbucker pickup Gibson. So yeah, this picture of him on the front here playing the Gibson from 64-65, just a really cool shot. Yeah, Life in London, just a ranking hard rock song. What a phenomenal, funky, heavy rock song. Then you got It Ain't What It Seems. Really kind of a fun, kind of upbeat song. And then you have Speakeasy, which is a little more mellow. Track number 3. And then the fourth track, Running from the Future, just a really kind of heavy, bluesy, borderline heavy metal song. Just really great guitar tone. Running from the Future and Life in London, those are probably two of the better songs on the album. But yeah, just a great guitar tone here. He was a great guitar player and an underrated guitar player, in my opinion. I know guitar people probably have heard of him, but I feel like the general public, the masses, the 97.1, the River listeners, probably never heard of Pat Travers. And Running from the Future, one of his best tracks. Loving You to finish off side 1. That's a good song. Not my favorite, a little more poppy. And then on side 2, you got Offbeat Ride. That's a fun, funky, kind of riffy song. And then Getting Better, the second track. Really funky. Again, great guitar licks, great groove. And before I go any further, Guess who the drummer was in this band? A guy named Nico McBrain. And then you got Pat Travers and Peter Mars Cowling. But Nico McBrain, yes, that Nico McBrain from Iron Maiden. Yes, he got his start in Pat Travers' band in 1977. This is a good 6 years before he ever joined Iron Maiden, but there he is there. Yep, Nico McBrain playing in a funk rock Canadian guitar player's band. I thought that was so cool. Had no clue he played on this album. I believe his first album with Iron Maiden was 1983's Peace of Mind, but man, couldn't be in two different bands, Pat Travers and Iron Maiden. But the drumming and the bass and the groove and the rhythm section on this album is just top notch, and Nico McBrain has a lot to do with that. Getting better, awesome song. And then you have the long tracks dedication parts 1 and 2 to finish it off. 7, almost 8-minute long tracks. Really great. Yeah, for 1977, this is just a great kind of heavy, hard, bluesy rock, funky rock album. Great album cover. There's there's Pat Travers there. And I believe I got this for $5 at a used vinyl store near me. I can't remember where I got it, but I got it probably a year or two ago. It was in the last couple of years, but I think I shared a post about it on my Instagram, but I had to come on here and do a full-on review. This is just a phenomenal hard rock, blues rock album from a great guitar player. He would go on to do more stuff with a live album, Live Go For What You Know, when he got a second guitar player, Pat Thrall. Some of that stuff is arguably, objectively better, but for me, this album, his third. Now, I've listened to his first two, and of the three, this is my favorite. It's just a groovy, funky, really kind of infectious guitar playing album. A lot of good riffs in it. And yeah, for a score, I'd give it like a 88 out of 100, a B plus. It's not a masterpiece, but for a good fun time, good kind of party rocking album with great guitar grooves and riffs, and a great rhythm section. You can't go wrong with this. So yeah, that is my review of Pat Travers' Putting It Straight, his third solo album released in 1977. Thank you for watching this album review.